Mountains whisper, jungles guard secrets, myth hangs heavy. This is not fantasy, it's Mexico. A land sculpted by fire, shaped by gods, and alive with color. Here, time doesn't pass, it dances. From the lost pyramids buried in silence to the surreal landscapes that defy belief, every corner of this country tells a story older than memory itself. Step into a world of ancient temples and forgotten cities, of glowing caves, endless deserts, and oceans that breathe light. This is not just a journey across land, it's a journey across eternity. Welcome to Unreal Mexico, the land of lost temples, ancient pyramids, and surreal landscapes. Begin with the ancient echoes of a civilization that vanished but never truly died. Describe the golden sunrise over the jungles of Chiapas and the mystery of lost Mayan cities reclaimed by nature. Beneath the thick jungles of southern Mexico, where the air hums with unseen life and the sunlight filters through canopies like golden fire, lie the whispers of forgotten kingdoms. The world has moved on, yet here, among the crumbling temples and moss-covered stones, time stands still. Imagine walking through the ruins of a city that once rivaled the greatest empires of Earth, its towers swallowed by vines, its gods silenced by centuries of rain. But listen closely, and you'll hear them still, the echoes of drums, chants, and prayers rising to the heavens. This is Chiapas, the realm of Palenque, Bonampak, and Yaxchilan, where ancient voices are carried by the wind, and history breathes through the trees. The story of the Maya is not one of disappearance, but transformation. Long before Columbus ever dreamed of crossing the Atlantic, the Maya built cities that aligned with the stars, carved their gods into limestone, and created a calendar more precise than any of their time. Palenque was one of their masterpieces, a jungle city of elegance and engineering, where rulers called themselves divine and astronomers mapped the cosmos from observatories made of stone. Today, the jungle has reclaimed it. Giant ceiba trees push their roots through broken temples, parrots nest in what were once royal chambers, and waterfalls flow beside hieroglyphs that speak of kings and gods. It feels alive, not as a ruin, but as a sleeping civilization waiting to be remembered. Step deeper into the mist, and you find Bonampak, where the walls themselves tell stories. Here, murals burst with color and motion, warriors, dancers, priests, and blood rituals, all frozen in time. It's as if you've stepped into a dream painted by the gods. Each stroke captures the heartbeat of a people who saw the world as sacred, where every battle, every offering, every sunrise had meaning beyond the physical. It's more than art, it's history, emotion, and myth intertwined. And then, there's Yaxchilan, hidden on the banks of the Usumacinta River, a place reachable only by boat, its temples rising from the mist like a mirage. As you approach, the howler monkeys cry from the treetops, their roars echoing like ancient drums of war. The carvings here are unlike any other kings adorned in jaguar skins, queens drawing blood to speak with the gods, and serpents curling from the stone. It feels unreal, yet hauntingly real. You can almost see torches flickering in the night, smell the incense, and hear the chants rising from the temples into the dark canopy above. But beyond the ruins, beyond the silence, is the living heartbeat of the Maya themselves, because they are still here in the villages that dot the highlands, in the faces of the people who still speak the ancient tongue, in the rituals that honor the same gods beneath new names. The Maya never vanished, they simply changed, adapting to the storms of history while keeping their spirit unbroken. Walk through the markets of San Cristobal de las Casas, and you'll see it in their woven fabrics, bright with the same patterns carved on ancient temples. Hear it in their songs, blending Spanish prayers with Mayan chants. Feel it in their eyes deep, knowing, connected to something beyond time. Here in Chiapas, the past and present coexist like light and shadow. The jungle may have swallowed the stones, but it could never silence the stories. Every leaf, every root, Every drop of rain seems to remember, and as the golden sun sets over the ruins of Palenque, painting the world in amber and green, it's easy to believe that these forgotten kingdoms were never truly lost, only waiting for us to listen again. Mexico begins here, not in the crowded cities or on the tourist beaches, but in the silence of these jungles where the earth holds its breath. This is where civilization was born from myth, where gods walked among kings, and where human hands reached for the stars long before history began recording names. And as you stand among the ruins, with the sound of the forest echoing all around, you realize you're not just looking at the past. You're standing inside a story that never ended. Because in Mexico, nothing is ever truly lost. It simply transforms, waiting for the day when someone dares to find it again. A city built before history, with pyramids aligned to the stars. Explore Teotihuacan's Avenue of the Dead, the Pyramid of the Sun, and the enigma of the people who built it and then disappeared. They call it the City of the Gods, a place built not by mere mortals, but by beings who walked between the worlds. Teotihuacan. Even the name hums with mystery. Long before the Aztecs ever arrived, this sprawling city already stood in silent majesty. Its avenues were wide enough for armies, its pyramids so vast they seemed to touch the sky. To stand here, beneath the shadow of the Pyramid of the Sun, is to feel small not in defeat, but in awe. This is no ordinary ruin. It's a cosmic blueprint carved into the earth itself. At dawn, when the mist drifts across the Valley of Mexico, and the first light strikes the Pyramid of the Moon, Teotihuacan feels alive again. The air vibrates with energy, as if the ancient stones remember their purpose. Archaeologists still debate who built it, how they built it, and even why they left. The truth? No one knows. The builders vanished over 1,000 years before the Aztecs came. Yet the Aztecs, upon discovering its ruins, gave it that haunting name Teotihuacan, the place where gods were born. The Pyramid of the Sun dominates the horizon, a massive structure of over 2.5 million tons of stone, aligned perfectly with the setting sun on the day of the summer solstice. It's not random. Every angle, every layer, every step was planned with cosmic precision. Beneath it, tunnels snake deep into the earth, filled with mercury pools, crystals, and mysterious chambers that may have symbolized the underworld. This wasn't just a city. It was a map of creation, a living calendar of the universe. Walk down the Avenue of the Dead, and you'll feel it, the eerie silence that lingers between the pyramids. The road stretches for miles, flanked by temples, palaces, and plazas that once held tens of thousands of people. Imagine it in its prime, colorful murals covering the walls, smoke rising from sacred fires, music echoing from drums and conch shells. Traders brought obsidian, jade, feathers, and cacao from faraway lands. Priests studied the heavens from observatories, charting the stars and predicting eclipses. It was a civilization obsessed with balance between life and death, earth and sky, human and divine. But the Pyramid of the Moon has its own energy, colder, darker, more mysterious. It was built for rituals, for sacrifices meant to sustain the cosmos. Skeletons unearthed beneath its stones tell of offerings, warriors laid to rest with jade masks and obsidian knives, their spirits sent to accompany the gods. It's haunting, yes, but it also speaks a belief of a people who saw the universe as something alive, something that demanded both beauty and blood to keep turning. And then there's the temple of the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl, the god of wind, wisdom, and rebirth. Its facade is lined with carved serpents, each emerging from the stone like a wave, frozen in time. Excavations here revealed hundreds of sacrificed warriors, buried with weapons and jewelry, as if sent to guard the divine gateway. What secret did they protect? What truth did this temple hold that required such devotion? No one can say, but standing before it, you can almost feel that ancient pulse, a rhythm that connects you to something vast and eternal. Teotihuacan, wasn't merely a city, it was an idea, a vision of the universe brought to life through stone. Its builders mastered architecture, mathematics, and astronomy to create harmony between heaven and earth. Even today, modern engineers are astonished by its perfection. The alignments correspond to celestial movements. The distances between structures echo planetary orbits. It's as if they encoded the language of the cosmos into the landscape itself. And then, one day, it ended. No war, no invader, just silence. Fires consumed parts of the city, and its people disappeared, leaving behind their temples and gods. Some say famine or revolt. Others whisper of a spiritual exodus, that the priests and rulers abandoned Teotihuacán when the balance between man and the divine was lost. Whatever the truth, the city became a ghost, a riddle carved in stone. Centuries later, when the Aztecs stumbled upon its ruins, they believed it was the birthplace of creation, where the sun itself had been reborn after the end of the previous world. They climbed its pyramids in reverence, offering flowers, blood, and prayers to awaken the sleeping gods. Even they, the mighty Mexica, bowed before its mystery. Today, when travelers climb the Pyramid of the Sun, they feel something, a current, a vibration that hums beneath the surface of reality. Some say it's energy, others say it's imagination. But those who have stood there, with the wind rushing past and the valley stretched wide below, know it's something more. Its connection to the ancients, to the earth, to the universe itself. Teotihuacán is not a ruin. It's a reminder that even thousands of years ago, humanity looked to the stars and dared to build something that touched them. A civilization that sought not power, but purpose. And in that pursuit, they left behind something greater than monuments. They left behind a legacy that refuses to die. Here, in the heart of Mexico, the gods were born. But perhaps, so was the dream of eternity. Under the blazing Yucatan sun, shadows move across the pyramid of Kukulkan, not by chance, but by cosmic design. Explore the genius of Mayan astronomy, mathematics, and prophecy. They call it the place where earth and fire collide, a land so harsh, so untamed, that it feels like another planet entirely. The Chihuahuan Desert, stretching across northern Mexico, is not just a wasteland. It's a living paradox, a place where survival itself is an art form. Beneath the scorching sun and the endless sky, life thrives in the unlikeliest ways. From red rock canyons to glittering salt flats, from ghost towns swallowed by sand to caves filled with crystals the size of houses, this is Mexico's desert heart, and it's unlike anywhere else on Earth. As dawn breaks over the desert, light pours like liquid gold across the landscape. Shadows stretch across the dunes, and the horizon begins to shimmer. The silence is overwhelming, broken only by the wind brushing past brittle shrubs. Yet, hidden within this emptiness, the land breathes full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. One of the most surreal wonders of this region lies deep underground, the Nika Crystal Cave, a natural cathedral of giants. Imagine a cavern glowing in silver and white, filled with selenite crystals so massive that some are over 30 feet long and weigh more than 50 tons. It's a world of light and fire, forged in unbearable heat and pressure beneath the earth. Scientists who entered had to wear protective suits just to survive the infernal temperatures inside. For centuries, this crystalline wonder lay hidden beneath the desert, sealed in silence until miners accidentally broke into it in 2000. They had stumbled into one of the most extraordinary geological discoveries of all time. Standing in that cave is like walking through the heart of a diamond, luminous, alien, almost divine. Above ground, the desert tells another story, one of ancient rivers and vanished worlds. The Cuatro Ciénegas Valley, tucked within the desert's emptiness, is an oasis of turquoise pools and strange life forms. Here, in these small lagoons, scientists have discovered microbial life that may resemble the earliest organisms on Earth. living fossils thriving in water that's been isolated for millions of years. The valley's surreal colors, from pale emerald to deep cobalt blue, contrast with the orange sands that surround them. Its beauty born of contradiction, life existing where it shouldn't. Further west, the desert transforms into a painter's dream. The red and gold cliffs of Samalayuca Dunes near Ciudad Juarez. When the sun hits just right, the sands ignite with color, glowing like molten metal. The wind sculpts the dunes into shapes that seem alive, whispering through ridges that shift and reform each day. At night, under the vast desert sky, the stars shine so brightly they look close enough to touch. Out here, the Milky Way becomes a river of light, and silence becomes sacred. But not all of the desert's wonders are natural. Scattered across Chihuahua are ghost towns, crumbling remnants of the silver rush and lost dreams. One of the most haunting is the old mining town of Oaxaca, perched on cliffs and connected by a narrow suspension bridge that sways in the wind. It feels frozen in time. Once a bustling hub of life and labor, now it's only echoes, wind rattling through broken windows, footsteps crunching on forgotten dust. The Oaxaca Bridge, stretching nearly 1,000 feet across a canyon, still stands strong, a reminder of human daring in the face of isolation. And then there's the desert's most otherworldly phenomenon, the Zone of Silence. Located near the Mapimi Basin, it's a place where compasses spin wildly, radios fail, and meteorites seem drawn to crash from the heavens. Local legends speak of strange lights at night, odd magnetic forces, and whispers of extraterrestrial visitors. Scientists attribute some of it to magnetic anomalies, but those who've spent nights there claim to have felt something beyond explanation, an electric charge in the air, as if the desert itself were alive. It's no wonder the locals call it La Zona del Silencio, the Zone of Silence. This vast desert landscape, stretching across multiple Mexican states, is often misunderstood, dismissed as empty or lifeless. But every grain of sand here tells a story of survival, adaptation, and endurance. Plants like the agave and the nopal cactus thrive in this hostile terrain, feeding and sustaining both people and wildlife. The roadrunner darts between the rocks, the rattlesnake coils beneath the shade, and the desert fox emerges only under moonlight. Every creature here has evolved to master scarcity, to live in balance with the harsh rhythm of the land. And perhaps that's the true essence of Chihuahua's red desert resilience. It's a place that humbles those who enter it, stripping away illusion and leaving only what truly matters. Here, under the vast silence of the stars, you begin to understand something profound, that life doesn't need abundance to be magnificent. Sometimes, the most beautiful things on earth bloom in the harshest places. As the sun dips behind the red horizon, and the last light fades into deep violet shadows, the desert exhales. The air cools, the stars awaken, and the land returns to stillness. It feels eternal, untouched by time, unchanged by man. You can feel the heartbeat of the planet here. Slow, steady, ancient. This is the soul of Mexico's wild north, fierce, mysterious, and alive. It's not a place that reveals itself easily, but for those who venture into its silence, it offers a gift that few places on earth can: the chance to stand face to face with the infinite. Beneath the surface of Mexico lies a world of water and myth, crystal blue sinkholes that the Maya believed were portals to the underworld. Journey into these sacred cenotes of Yucatan. Hidden deep within the emerald jungles of southern Mexico lie the bones of forgotten empires. Cities swallowed by trees, temples wrapped in roots, and pyramids that whisper the secrets of time. This is the ancient heart of Mexico, where stone and nature intertwine in a breathtaking dance of decay and rebirth. Palenque, Calakmul, and the lost ruins of the Maya world are not just remnants of history. They are living portals to a civilization that touched the stars. The journey begins in Chiapas, where mist rolls over the canopy like waves of breath. Here, rising from the green sea, stands Palenque, a city carved from white limestone, glistening under shafts of jungle light. It's said that the gods still linger here, hidden in the echoes of howler monkeys and the rush of distant waterfalls. As you walk through the Temple of the Inscriptions, where King Pakal the Great lies entombed beneath intricate carvings, you can almost hear the heartbeat of an empire that once ruled the heavens. His tomb, discovered in 1952, revealed not just treasures, but a vision, a sarcophagus lid, so mysterious that it sparked theories of cosmic travelers and divine rebirth. Every wall here tells a story. Reliefs depict kings in ritual poses, communicating with gods through smoke and sacrifice. Stairways lead to the unknown, and corridors echo with the sound of rain dripping from ancient stone. The jungle has reclaimed much, but in doing so, it has preserved the spirit of Palenque, a reminder that nature and time always have the final word. Further east, beyond rivers and thick forests, lies Calakmul, one of the largest and most powerful cities of the ancient Maya world, hidden deep within the biosphere reserve of Campeche. For centuries, it was buried beneath vines and silence, its pyramids unseen, its temples untouched. When explorers rediscovered it in the 1932, they found a kingdom lost in myth. Today, standing atop the Great Pyramid of Calakmul, you can see nothing but endless green, stretching to the horizon, the ocean of jungle that once connected hundreds of Maya cities across the Yucatan. The climb to the top is steep, but the view is pure magic. The wind brushes against your face, as if carrying whispers from another age. The temples peak above the trees like islands in a green sea. Somewhere below, jaguars roam the undergrowth, and spider monkeys swing from vine to vine. Calakmul wasn't just a city, it was a cosmic power. Its rulers were astronomers, mathematicians, and architects of eternity. They mapped the heavens and aligned their temples with celestial cycles, believing the stars themselves guided their fate. And yet, even mighty Calakmul fell. No one knows exactly why. Some say drought, others war, perhaps both. But what remains is haunting empty plazas, broken stelae, and carvings of kings whose names are almost erased by time. Standing here, you feel the weight of history, the impermanence of power, and the enduring beauty of what's left behind. Deeper into the jungle, far from any major road, lies another secret Yaxchilan, perched along the banks of the Usumacinta River. To reach it, you must take a boat through mist and silence, where crocodiles glide just beneath the surface and macaws flash red and gold through the trees. The journey feels like stepping backward through centuries. When you finally arrive, the city greets you with stone doorways covered in vines, lintels carved with stories of gods and kings, and temples that seem to breathe with the forest. This is the forgotten world of the Maya, where architecture wasn't just functional, but sacred. Every structure mirrored the cosmos. Every courtyard was a reflection of their calendar. The Maya didn't just build cities, they built living representations of time itself. As dusk falls over the jungle, the sounds of life rise: frogs, birds, and unseen creatures singing in an endless chorus. Mist drifts between the temples, softening their sharp lines, turning stone into dream. You begin to understand what makes these ruins so powerful. They aren't dead. The forest has wrapped them in its embrace, turning them into something eternal, not relics, but living stories. And here, amid this eternal green, one truth becomes clear. Civilizations rise, flourish, and fade. But their spirit, their art, their knowledge, their quest to understand the universe remains. In the heart of Mexico's jungle, surrounded by the ruins of kings and the whispers of gods, you can feel that spirit alive and pulsing through the roots and the rain. The Maya saw the world as a great cycle: birth, death, and rebirth. And as the vines curl around their temples, reclaiming what was once theirs, it feels as though that cycle continues still. These lost cities are not gone. They're merely sleeping, dreaming in the shade of the jungle. This is the heart of ancient Mexico, a place where past and present breathe as one, where the earth itself guards the memories of an empire that once reached for the stars. Colors, candles, and ancient rituals light up the night as the people of Oaxaca celebrate the Day of the Dead. Explore the living bridge between Mexico's past and its spirit world. There are places on Earth that seem painted by a divine hand, places where color, culture, and creation merge into something utterly surreal. In southern Mexico, that place is Oaxaca, a land where mountains glow in the light of dawn, where ancient traditions still shape daily life, and where the earth itself appears to come alive. This is the surreal soul of Mexico, a region that feels both timeless and otherworldly, where nature and humanity exist in perfect rhythm. The journey begins in the city of Oaxaca de Juarez, nestled in a valley surrounded by the Sierra Madre. The streets are lined with colonial facades in every hue: turquoise, coral, mustard, and rose, as if the city itself were celebrating its own existence. The scent of roasted cacao and wood-fired tortillas drifts through the air, while church bells echo from the Grand Santo Domingo temple, its golden interior shimmering like captured sunlight. But beneath this beauty lies a deeper story, one of resilience and cultural pride. Oaxaca is home to 16 indigenous groups, each preserving languages, crafts, and rituals passed down for centuries. Wandering through the bustling markets, you're drawn to the chaos and color-woven textiles dyed with cochineal reds, black pottery gleaming like obsidian, and mezcal bottles filled with liquid fire. Every sound and scent feels amplified, alive. The people of Oaxaca don't just live here, they belong here, bound to the land by ancestry and spirit. But beyond the city's color and culture lies a natural wonder that feels straight out of a dream. Hierve el agua, the water that boils. It's not boiling at all, but mineral-rich springs that have flowed for thousands of years, leaving behind towering white and gold cliffs that resemble frozen waterfalls. From a distance, it looks like ice cascading down the mountainside, surreal in the desert heat. Standing at the edge, looking out across the valleys, the view stretches endlessly: jagged peaks, distant villages, and skies so blue they seem unreal. The pools at the top shimmer with turquoise and emerald tones, reflecting clouds that drift lazily above. Dip your hand in the water and you feel the warmth of minerals rising from the earth, as if the planet itself were alive beneath your touch. Hierve el agua isn't just a geological wonder. It's a sacred place. The Zapotec people believe these waters held healing power, a bridge between the human and the divine. Today, it's a place of pilgrimage for travelers seeking peace, photographers chasing perfection, and locals reconnecting with their roots. As the sun sets, the cliffs glow like molten gold, and everything sky, stone, and soul merges in harmony. Back in Oaxaca's highlands, another marvel awaits: the Sierra Norte, a mountain range draped in mist and mystery. Here, ancient forests breathe clouds, and rivers carve paths through canyons that few have seen. Hidden within are Zapotec villages, like Benito Juarez and Quajimoloyas, where time slows and tradition reigns. The air smells of pine and smoke, and at night, the stars blaze brighter than anywhere else. The people here live in a balance that feels almost mythical, protecting their forests through community-run conservation while sharing their land through sustainable tourism. Walking along the mountain trails, you can feel the hum of the earth beneath your feet, the same rhythm that has guided generations before. But Oaxaca's surreal wonders don't end with nature, they extend to the sky. Once a year, in the nearby town of Huautla de Jimenez, the Mazatec people celebrate ancient rituals guided by the holy children, sacred mushrooms that open portals to spiritual realms. The ceremony, still practiced today, is not about escape, but understanding a way to speak with the earth, to see beyond the visible world. Even the legendary musician John Lennon was once rumored to be drawn to Oaxaca's mystical aura. There's a magnetic energy here, a sense that the boundary between the seen and unseen is paper thin. And then there's the Guelaguetza, Oaxaca's grandest celebration. Every July, thousands gather in the amphitheater atop El-14 Hill to witness a festival unlike any other. Dancers from every region of the state, dressed in vivid traditional attire, perform ancient movements that tell stories of harvest, love, and unity. Drums echo, feet pound, and the air fills with the colors of humanity. It's not a show, it's a living expression of gratitude, a promise to give and share, just as the word Guelaguetza means. In Oaxaca, you begin to understand something profound, that beauty isn't only what you see, but what you feel. The land breathes with meaning. The people live in harmony with their ancestors, and every mountain, market, and melody is part of a greater story. It's as if the entire region were alive, whispering through the wind, reminding us that to be human is to belong to the earth. As twilight settles over the valley, the city lights flicker like fireflies. Music drifts from the plazas, mezcal burns gently on the tongue, and laughter mingles with the night air. You look around at the faces, the colors, the stars, and realize that Oaxaca isn't just a place you visit. It's a place that stays with you. A surreal landscape of spirit, color, and connection, where earth and culture become one eternal masterpiece. Deep in the Sierra Madre, a labyrinth of ravines stretches farther than the Grand Canyon itself. Follow the Tarahumara people, the runners of the canyon, and discover the untamed heart of Mexico. They call it La Costa de los Sueños, the coast of dreams, and once you arrive, you understand why. Stretching along Mexico's southern edge, where the mountains dissolve into the endless Pacific, Oaxaca's coastline feels like a world still untouched by time. Here, golden beaches meet wild jungle, and sunsets set the ocean ablaze. It's a place where reality softens, and every wave feels like a heartbeat from another world. This is the surreal Pacific, where nature, spirit, and serenity blend into one of Earth's last unspoiled paradises. The journey begins in Puerto Escondido, a name that means hidden port. Once a quiet fishing village, today it's a haven for surfers, wanderers, and dreamers chasing freedom at the edge of the world. The sound of crashing waves fills the air, mingled with the scent of salt and hibiscus. Along Playa Zicatela, the legendary Mexican pipeline, massive waves rise like liquid mountains, powerful, unpredictable, alive. Surfers from around the globe test their courage here, riding forces that seem more myth than ocean. But even if you're not on a board, you feel it, that electric energy of nature untamed. When the sun sinks below the horizon, it paints the sea in molten gold and violet hues. The sky burns with fire, the waves shimmer like liquid glass, and for a few eternal seconds, the world feels infinite. Just beyond Puerto Escondido lies something softer, Playa Carrizalillo, a crescent of turquoise water hidden behind a steep descent of stone steps. Here, the sea is gentle, welcoming, and almost unreal in its color, the kind of blue you only see in dreams. Fishermen push small boats into the water, pelicans dive for silver flashes beneath the waves, and children play barefoot along the shore. Life slows to the rhythm of the tides. In the distance, palm trees sway against the horizon, whispering secrets to the wind. Further east, the coast transforms again, wild, raw, and spiritual. This is Mazunte, Mexico's first eco-pueblo, a village built on sustainability and serenity. Once known for turtle hunting, Mazunte has become a sanctuary for sea turtles and the people who protect them. At the National Mexican Turtle Center, hundreds of hatchlings begin their journey to the ocean, tiny lives racing toward the unknown. Watching them crawl toward the waves, you realize how fragile and resilient life truly is. The villagers here live simply, guided by a philosophy of harmony. Solar panels glint on rooftops, yoga centers echo with chants, and the scent of coconut and incense fills the air. Climb the cliffs of Punta Cometa, the southernmost point of Oaxaca, and you'll find yourself standing on sacred ground. The indigenous Zapotec people believe this was a gateway between worlds, a place where spirits cross from life to eternity. As the wind howls and waves crash against the rocks below, you can feel that energy, ancient and immense. At sunrise or sunset, Punta Cometa becomes otherworldly, the sea turning to molten gold, the cliffs glowing crimson, and the horizon stretching into forever. It's one of those rare places where you can sense the pulse of the planet beneath your feet. Travel west, and you'll discover Xibalba, Mexico's only official nude beach and a sanctuary for those who live beyond rules. Its name, derived from Zapotec, means beach of the dead. But the irony is powerful. Here, people come to feel alive. There are no walls, no barriers, only the freedom of the body and the vastness of the sea. Cafes hum with laughter, hammocks sway between palms, and the nights are filled with the rhythm of waves and drums. It's a place that celebrates authenticity, where the ocean strips away everything false, leaving only what's real. But Oaxaca's coast isn't only about sand and sea. It's a mosaic of mangroves, lagoons, and life. In the Lagunas de Chichén National Park, freshwater and saltwater meet in a surreal dance. Here, bioluminescent plankton light up the dark waters like constellations come to life. As you glide silently through the lagoon by boat, every paddle stroke creates a trail of glowing blue light. Above, the sky is filled with stars. Below, the water mirrors them. In that quiet moment, you realize you're floating between two heavens. The people of Oaxaca's coast live in rhythm with the sea. Fishermen still cast nets by hand, guided by moonlight. Children learn to swim before they learn to walk. And at night, families gather around bonfires, sharing stories of ancestors and ocean spirits. It's a way of life untouched by haste, a harmony that feels sacred in a modern world that never stops moving. Everywhere you look, life here feels raw, real, and radiant. The Pacific isn't just water, it's a mirror, reflecting the soul of the land. It whispers stories of creation, destruction, and rebirth. It invites you to slow down, breathe deeply, and listen. Because on this coast, the earth still speaks. As the night deepens and the last wave kisses the shore, you stand at the edge of the world, wind in your hair, salt on your skin, stars above your head. You realize that Mexico's coast isn't just a destination, it's an experience of the infinite, a reminder that the most unreal places on earth are the ones that make you feel alive. Two lovers turn to mountains, forever watching over the Valley of Mexico. Witness fiery landscapes where legend meets geology, and the earth still breathes fire beneath the surface. Hidden deep within the emerald jungles of southern Mexico lie ruins that whisper of gods, kings, and cosmic secrets, temples swallowed by time and reclaimed by nature. These are the ancient cities of Palenque, Calakmul, and the forgotten kingdoms that once ruled the heart of the Maya world. Here, stone pyramids rise through thick mist, howler monkeys roar through the trees like ancient spirits, and every step feels like trespassing into another dimension. This isn't just history, it's a journey into the realm of the divine, where the line between myth and reality vanishes beneath the jungle canopy. The adventure begins in Palenque, a city that seems to breathe. As dawn breaks, the jungle awakens, the cries of tropical birds echo through the valley, and mist curls around the towering temple of inscriptions. Built more than 1,300 years ago, this temple guards one of the most remarkable discoveries in archaeology, the tomb of King Pakal, a ruler so powerful he was believed to ascend into the stars. When explorers uncovered his burial chamber in 1952, they found a jade mask covering his face and carvings, depicting him riding what some claim resembles a spaceship. A symbol so mysterious, it ignited endless theories about ancient extraterrestrials. But beyond the myths, Palenque's true wonder lies in its architecture, elegant, mathematical, and poetic. Unlike other Maya cities, its buildings seem designed not just for power, but for beauty. Intricate reliefs tell stories of dynasties, celestial movements, and the sacred balance between life and death. The sound of wind weaving through the ruins feels like the breath of the past, a soft reminder that greatness fades but never disappears entirely. Travel deeper into the jungle, where modern roads give way to dirt paths and thick vegetation, and you reach Calakmul, the city of two adjacent pyramids. Hidden for centuries in the dense forests of Campeche, this ancient metropolis was once one of the largest and most powerful cities in the Maya world, rivaling mighty Tikal in Guatemala. To stand at the summit of Calakmul's main temple is to look out over an ocean of green, endless jungle, stretching to the horizon in every direction. The air is thick, heavy with humidity and history. Howler monkeys cry from the treetops, parrots flash like jewels in the sunlight, and the ruins themselves seem alive, breathing in rhythm with the forest. Archaeologists believe more than 6,000 structures lie buried here, still covered by vines and earth. And yet, the city remains eerily silent, its mysteries protected by nature herself. Calakmul was not just a political power, it was a cosmic one. The Maya aligned their temples with the stars, believing that their kings were born of the heavens. Every ceremony, every carving, every sacrifice connected them to the divine cycles of the universe. When night falls here, and the sky ignites with constellations untouched by light pollution, it's easy to understand why. You feel small, ancient, and infinite all at once. Further east, hidden deep within the forests of Chiapas and Tabasco, lies Yaxchilan, a site accessible only by boat along the Usumacinta River. The journey there feels like traveling back in time. As your canoe drifts through the winding jungle waters, the sound of civilization fades until all that remains is the hum of insects and the splash of the oar. The ruins emerge from the green, like ghosts, massive limestone temples covered in moss, each doorway carved with the faces of kings and queens long gone. It's said that Yaxchilan was a place of rituals and visions, where rulers communicated with gods through sacred bloodletting ceremonies. The air feels charged, ancient, sacred. You can almost hear the drums echoing from the past. The deeper you go, the more you realize the jungle isn't just reclaiming these temples, it's protecting them. Vines wrap around columns like time's fingers. Trees grow through temple walls, their roots merging with ancient stone. The forest and the ruins have become one nature and history, intertwined in perfect balance. In this silence, it's as if the land itself remembers. Every temple tells a story of creation, of power, of the endless dance between life and death. The Maya didn't just build cities, they built mirrors of the cosmos. Their pyramids represented mountains of the gods. Their plazas symbolized the underworld. Every sunrise, every shadow cast upon these stones was part of a celestial script written in perfect harmony with the stars. Standing at the top of a temple as the mist rises, you feel that ancient pulse beneath your feet. The jungle hums, the wind whispers through the leaves, and somewhere within, the memory of a civilization still lingers. These are not ruins of the past, they are portals, alive with energy, reminding us that time is circular, not linear. As the light fades and the forest turns to shadow, you descend the stone steps, your heart heavy with awe. The cries of the jungle grow louder, primal, eternal. In that moment, you realize you're not just standing in an archaeological site. You're standing at the intersection of myth and reality. A place where gods once walked, and where, if you listen closely enough, they still might. A world painted in impossible hues, pink seas, white dunes, and endless salt. Experience the dreamlike coast of Yucatan, where Earth feels like another planet. Beneath the surface of Mexico lies a hidden world, one that glows, ripples, and breathes with an otherworldly beauty. This is the land of cenotes, volcanoes, and mystical lakes, a surreal landscape that feels less like Earth and more like the dreamscape of an ancient god. Every drop of water, every plume of smoke, every reflection on a still lagoon tells the story of how nature itself became art. In this chapter, we travel into Mexico's mysterious heart, a realm where fire and water coexist, where creation and destruction are inseparable forces shaping a world beyond imagination. Imagine plunging into a sapphire pool so clear you can see eternity beneath you. Sunlight filters through the jungle canopy, casting golden rays into the water. This is a cenote, one of the thousands that dot the Yucatan Peninsula. Formed by collapsed limestone caves, cenotes are sacred windows into the underworld, known to the Maya as Xibalba. They believed these crystal wells were entrances to the realm of spirits, where life and death intertwined. Some cenotes are open and sunlit, surrounded by vines and birdsong. Others are hidden in caverns, lit only by a single beam of light piercing the darkness. One of the most breathtaking is Cenote Itzá, near Chichén Itzá, a perfect circle of blue water surrounded by hanging vines that plunge 85 feet into the pool below. It feels like the navel of the earth, a natural cathedral sculpted by time. As you float in its cool depths, you can almost sense the ancient rituals that once took place here, where offerings of jade, pottery, and even human lives were given to appease the gods. The echo of dripping water feels eternal, as though the cave itself remembers every whisper of the past. But where there is water, there is also fire, and in Mexico, the land still burns with life. Journey westward, and you'll find yourself standing before Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl, two of the country's most famous volcanoes. Their snow-capped peaks pierce the sky, visible even from Mexico City on clear days. Yet their story is not just geological, it's a legend written in heartbreak and devotion. According to Aztec mythology, Popocatépetl was a warrior who fell in love with Princess Iztaccíhuatl. When she died, he lit a torch and vowed to keep it burning forever beside her tomb. The gods, moved by his loyalty, transformed them into mountains, one eternally aflame, the other sleeping in peaceful rest. Even today, Popocatépetl, El Popo, still breathes smoke rising like the sigh of a lover who refuses to let go. And then there's Paracutin, the volcano that was born in a cornfield. In 1943, a farmer named Dionisio Pulido watched as the ground split open and fire erupted from the earth. Within hours, a cone of molten rock rose into the sky, growing day by day until it swallowed entier village. Today, the ruins of the San Juan Parangaricutiro church still stand, half buried in solidified lava, its bell tower rising defiantly above the blackened stone, a haunting monument to nature's power. Walking through the cooled lava fields feels like stepping on another planet, where Earth's creation and destruction have frozen mid-breath. Yet Mexico's surreal beauty doesn't end with fire or stone. In the heart of Michoacán lies Lake Camacuaro, a mirror-like lagoon surrounded by ancient cypress trees, whose twisted roots reach deep into emerald water. Early morning mist drifts across the surface, and shafts of sunlight filter through the branches, creating a scene so ethereal it feels painted. The stillness here carries a spiritual calm, a reminder that nature's most powerful moments often come not in chaos, but in silence. Further north, the Lago de las Coloradas shocks the senses, a pink lagoon that looks like it belongs to another planet. Its surreal color comes from salt, algae, and tiny shrimp that thrive in high salinity. Against the white salt banks and turquoise sky, the pink water glows neon under the sun, so vibrant it almost defies belief. Here, flamingos wade through the shallows, their feathers mirroring the rosy hue of the lake. It's as if nature decided to play with its own palette, painting a dream directly onto the earth. And hidden deep within the forests of Oaxaca lies a geological miracle, Hierve el Agua, the boiling water. From a cruise distance, It looks like a frozen waterfall, cascading down the mountainside. But it's actually formed from mineral deposits that solidified over thousands of years. At the top, natural infinity pools sit perched on the edge of the cliffs, overlooking a vast valley of mist and mountains. As you bathe in the warm mineral water, surrounded by silence and endless horizon, time itself feels suspended. Everywhere you turn, Mexico reveals a new layer of the surreal, a country sculpted not just by nature, but by myth, memory, and spirit. The cenotes connect the underworld to the sky. The volcanoes embody passion and tragedy. The lakes shimmer with impossible color, reflecting the dreams of gods and men alike. This land isn't content to just exist, it performs. Every sunrise feels like the opening act of a cosmic play that's been running for millennia. As dusk falls over these mystical landscapes, the wind carries the scent of earth and rain. The cenotes darken, the volcanoes glow faintly in the distance, and the lakes mirror the last light of day. It's here, in the stillness of twilight, that you realize Mexico isn't just a country, it's a living, breathing poem written in water, stone, and fire. A world that doesn't just ask to be seen, but to be felt, deeply, endlessly, and beyond belief. From gray whales that breach beside your boat to turquoise seas that stretch beyond sight, the Baja Peninsula is a wild frontier where desert meets ocean in breathtaking harmony. At the edge of Mexico, where the land dissolves into endless blue, lies a world few truly know, a place where desert meets ocean, cliffs rise from silver waves, and time slows to the rhythm of the tide. This is the Baja Peninsula, one of Earth's last great frontiers. It's a land of extremes, of searing sunlight and cool Pacific winds, of silence that hums with life. And as you travel across this forgotten coastline, you begin to understand why explorers called it the end of the world, a realm so wild, so surreal, it feels untouched by human time. Our journey begins at the southern tip of the peninsula, where the Sea of Cortez, famously named by Jacques Cousteau as the world's aquarium, glimmers with unearthly clarity. Its waters, trapped between the mainland and Baja California, teem with life. Here, schools of fish flash like liquid rainbows beneath the surface. Sea lions playfully dance around coral gardens, and gentle whale sharks, the largest fish on Earth, glide past in ghostly silence. Every ripple holds a secret. Every current carries a story millions of years old. Then, there's Cabo San Lucas, where the desert melts into turquoise sea beneath a blazing Sunday. The iconic El Arco, a massive rock arch rising from the waves, stands like a gateway to another world. At sunrise, golden light floods through the arch, setting the water aflame. By sunset, it glows crimson, framed by the silhouettes of passing pelicans. Beyond the arch, the deep blue horizon hides migrating humpback whales breaching with thunderous grace, while on shore, the beaches hum with music, laughter, and the smell of salt and lime. Cabo is where the untamed meets the luxurious, a paradox of wild beauty and vibrant life. As you journey north, the landscape begins to change. The palm trees thin, replaced by vast stretches of desert. The Sierra de la Giganta mountains rise suddenly from the sand, their jagged peaks painted gold by the setting sunday. Hidden in their folds are ancient rock paintings, reminders of the nomadic tribes who once lived here, tracing their lives on stone with ochre and charcoal. The silence here is immense. You can hear your heartbeat echo through the canyon walls, mingling with the cry of distant hawks. And then, you reach Loreto, a tranquil town on the Gulf side that feels like stepping back centuries. Whitewashed churches, narrow cobblestone streets, and fishermen pulling their boats onto the shore at dawn. This is Mexico's soul preserved. Offshore lies the Isla del Carmen, surrounded by sapphire water so clear that coral and fish shimmer even from the surface. Dolphins leap beside your boat as you sail, and in the distance, the horizon bends into infinity. It's not just beautiful, it's transcendental. Further along the coast lies Bahia Concepcion, a dreamlike bay, dotted with dozens of islands and secret coves. Here, the desert sand meets the glassy sea, creating a mirage of colors aquamarine, jade, and silver that shift with the movement of clouds. You can wade far into the bay and still see the sandy bottom below, with stingrays gliding past your feet. At night, the stars seem to fall into the water, reflected perfectly on the surface. The silence is total, broken only by the slow rhythm of the tide and the whisper of the wind through the cacti. It's as if the earth has paused to breathe. Crossing to the Pacific side, the mood changes once again. The waters grow colder, the surf stronger, and the cliffs more dramatic. Along the Laguna San Ignacio, the gray whales return every year to give birth, migrating thousands of miles from Alaska's frigid seas. Here, humans and whales share a rare, intimate bond. Local fishermen approach the mothers and calves by boat, and astonishingly, the whales come forward, nudging close, allowing themselves to be touched. Their eyes, dark and ancient, seem to recognize us not as intruders but as part of their eternal rhythm. To touch a whale here is to touch something sacred. Further north still, the coast becomes almost alien. Towering cliffs plunge into turquoise water. Sea caves echo with the sound of crashing waves, and seabirds circle in the hundreds above black volcanic rocks. This is Bahia de Los Angeles, a remote paradise where desert mountains meet coral-filled bays. It's a place that feels like a secret, where few go and fewer still stay. You can walk for hours without seeing another soul. Only the tracks of coyotes in the sand and the shimmer of heat rising from the dunes. Baja is a land defined by contrast, harsh and soft, lonely and full of life, barren and overflowing with beauty. It's a place where time loses meaning. You wake to the cry of gulls and the scent of salt. You wander across dunes that stretch to eternity, and you watch the sunset set the ocean ablaze with fire. Every moment feels like a glimpse into something pure and ancient, the earth, stripped bare, revealing its original form. By night, the desert sky becomes a cathedral of stars. With no city lights for miles, the Milky Way burns bright enough to cast shadows. The constellations feel close enough to touch, their reflections mirrored in the calm of the sea. In this silence, you begin to understand why travelers speak of Baja with reverence, not as a destination, but as a revelation. It's where the world still feels raw, unshaped, and alive. Here, on the edge of everything, Mexico's forgotten coastline tells its quiet story of resilience, of beauty, and of balance between chaos and peace. The desert and sea are eternal lovers, forever colliding, forever embracing. And if you stand still long enough, with the wind in your hair and the surf at your feet, you can feel that union too, a pulse that connects you not just to this place, but to the planet itself. From lost temples to bustling cities, Mexico is a land that remembers every ruin, every ritual, every color is a fragment of its eternal soul. Conclude with a cinematic reflection on how Mexico's spirit transcends time. There are places that change the way you see the world, and then there are places that change the way you feel it. Mexico is one of those rare lands that doesn't just exist in space, but in spirit. It's a living story, written across mountains, deserts, temples, and oceans, a symphony of color, sound, and emotion. In this final chapter, we journey beyond geography into something deeper, the soul of Mexico, a place where myth breathes through the streets, history dances in the plazas, and every sunset feels like a farewell and a promise at once. Imagine walking through an old colonial town as evening falls. The cobblestone streets glow golden under the light of hanging lanterns. The scent of roasted corn, chili, and sweet cinnamon fills the air. Somewhere, a guitar begins to play slow, nostalgic, tender. It's not a performance. It's life itself. This is Mexico after dark, when time slows and the country's spirit reveals itself through music, laughter, and the poetry of ordinary moments. In San Miguel de Allende, that spirit feels eternal. The town is a masterpiece of Spanish colonial architecture, with pastel facades, iron balconies, and cobblestone lanes that twist like rivers through time. From the steps of the Parroquia de San Miguel Arcángel, its pink spires rising like flames against the sky, you can look out across a sea of terracotta rooftops and distant hills. The light here has a warmth unlike anywhere else, a golden hue that makes even silence feel alive. Artists, poets, and dreamers have long been drawn here, seeking to capture what words cannot fully express: Mexico's quiet, luminous soul. But to understand the heart of this country, you must also walk through its oldest stories. Deep in Oaxaca, tradition is not a museum, it's a heartbeat. Every alley echoes with artisans hammering silver, carving wood, and weaving brilliant patterns into textiles. The markets burst with color scarlet chilies, deep purple corn, and the bright orange of marigold flowers. And then there's the mezcal, smoky, strong, and sacred. To drink it here isn't indulgence, it's ritual. Locals say you don't drink mezcal, you kiss it slowly, letting its fire reveal the soul of the agave and the earth it grew from. As you travel further, you encounter a different kind of reverence, one that blurs the line between the living and the dead. The Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is perhaps the most beautiful reflection of Mexico's spirit. In a world that often fears death, Mexico celebrates it not as an end, but as a reunion. Families fill cemeteries with candles, marigolds, and offerings of food. Laughter echoes through the night as people share stories of those who've passed, believing their souls return to visit. It's not as an end, but as a reunion. Families fill cemeteries with candles, marigolds, and offerings of food. Laughter echoes through the night as people share stories of those who've passed, believing their souls return to visit. It's not mourning, it's love in its purest form, love strong enough to cross the veil between worlds. Then there's Chiapas, where the ancient and the spiritual intertwine. In the mountain town of San Juan Chamula, the church glows not with stained glass, but with the flicker of thousands of candles set on the floor. Pine needles cover the ground, incense swirls through the air, and the chants of worshippers merge with the cries of roosters outside. Here, Catholic saints blend with Mayan gods, two worlds coexisting, harmonizing. It's not contradiction, it's connection. And that's the essence of Mexico. Opposites that don't compete, but complete one another. Far to the north, in Copper Canyon, the landscape itself becomes a cathedral. These immense gorges, deeper and wider than the Grand Canyon, stretch endlessly under the sun, carved by rivers over millions of years. The Tarahumara people, known for their incredible endurance and harmony with nature, still call this wild region home. They run for miles through the canyons, not for sport, but for ceremony, a living connection between body, spirit, and earth. Standing on the canyon's edge, the wind rushing past, you realize that in Mexico, even silence speaks. And then, as if in contrast, you return to Mexico City, a sprawling, electrifying heart that pulses with life. Beneath its streets lie the ruins of Tenochtitlan, the great Aztec capital, and above them rises a modern metropolis of art, food, and rhythm. In the historic center, the Zocalo Square buzzes with humanity, mariachi bands playing under the flag, families laughing, vendors shouting, children chasing balloons. It's chaos. Yes, but it's beautiful chaos. A reflection of a nation that's always in motion, always reinventing itself, yet never forgetting its roots. From the quiet cenotes of Yucatan to the fiery peaks of Popocatépetl, from Baja's endless horizons to the vibrant pulse of its cities, Mexico reveals its identity not through perfection, but through contrast. It's in the blend of ancient and modern, sacred and ordinary, life and death. It's in every hand-woven textile, every echoing bell, every soul who calls this land home. And when you finally stand beneath a Mexican sunset, the sky painted in crimson and gold, you feel something shift inside you. It's not just admiration, it's belonging. Because Mexico doesn't ask to be understood. It invites you to feel, to live, to love. In the end, Mexico isn't just a country. It's an emotion, a heartbeat that lingers long after you've left, reminding you that the most unreal places on earth are often the most human. Here, where history and nature dance as one, the world feels ancient and new at the same time, and the story of Mexico continues to be written, not in books or maps, but in the hearts of all who have walked its sunlit roads and dreamed beneath its endless skies. From the deserts of Baja to the sacred cenotes of Yucatan, from the lost temples of the Maya to the snow-capped volcanoes that kiss the sky, Mexico is more than a country. It's a living myth. Every sound, every scent, every color is part of an ancient rhythm that still beats through its land and people. We came searching for unreal places, but what we found was something even more extraordinary. The heartbeat of a civilization that never stopped dreaming. As the sun sets over this sacred soil, one truth remains. Mexico is not to be seen, it's to be felt. This is Mexico. Eternal, surreal, and unforgettable. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.